Tonight, you are going to do something extraordinary. You are going to lie down, close your eyes, and vanish. Not die. Not rest in any simple sense. Vanish. Your conscious mind will step away from the controls and something else will take over. And the strangest part, you have been doing this every single night of your life and you have almost no idea what actually happens. Most people think sleep is simple. Your body gets tired, you close your eyes, and you wake up a few hours later feeling better. But that is not what happens. Not even close. What your brain does when you sleep is so complex, so layered, and so essential that scientists have spent decades studying it and still do not fully understand it. What they have uncovered, though, changes everything about how you think about the hours you spend unconscious. So where do you actually go when you sleep? The first thing you need to understand is that sleep is not one thing. It is not a flat, quiet state your body slips into like a machine powering down. It is a journey. Every single night, your brain cycles through distinct stages, each one doing something completely different, each one absolutely necessary. Miss even one of them, and the consequences reach far beyond feeling groggy in the morning. Your night begins the moment your body starts to let go. This is stage one. It lasts only a few minutes. Your muscles relax. Your heartbeat slows. Your brain produces what are called alpha waves, the same slow electrical hum your brain makes when you are daydreaming, when you are staring out a window and your mind is drifting. You are not quite asleep yet. You are at the edge. And if someone called your name right now, you would probably answer them. Then something shifts. You fall deeper. This is stage 2, and this is where most people spend the largest portion of their night. Your body temperature drops. Your eyes stop moving. And your brain begins doing something remarkable. It produces sudden, brief bursts of electrical activity called sleep spindles. Researchers at Harvard Medical School, including sleep scientist Robert Stickgold, have spent years studying these spindles. What Stickgold and his colleagues discovered is that these bursts are not random. They are the brain actively transferring information. Skills you practiced during the day, facts you learned, moments you experienced. The brain is moving all of it, sorting it, filing it, weaving it into long-term memory. Right now, tonight, your sleeping brain is deciding what you will remember for the rest of your life. You keep falling. Stage 3. This is called slow wave sleep, or deep sleep. Your brain waves slow dramatically. They become long, rolling waves called delta waves. Your body is doing critical repair work. Growth hormone floods your system. Your immune system strengthens. Your cells rebuild. This is the stage that makes you feel physically restored in the morning. This is the sleep that heals your body. And it is also the hardest stage to be woken from. If someone shook you awake right now, you would not just feel tired. You would feel confused, disoriented, almost drunk. Scientists call this sleep inertia, and it can last for up to 30 minutes after waking. Then something unexpected happens. After all that stillness, after all that slow silence, your brain wakes up. Not you, your brain. This is REM sleep, rapid eye movement, and it is unlike anything else your biology produces. Your eyes dart back and forth beneath your closed eyelids. Your brain fires with almost the same intensity as when you are fully awake. Regions linked to emotion, memory, and visual processing light up, and yet your body is completely paralyzed. Not metaphorically, literally paralyzed. Your brainstem sends a signal to your muscles, cutting off all voluntary movement. You cannot move your arms. You cannot move your legs. You are locked inside your own body. Scientists believe this paralysis exists to stop you from physically acting out your dreams, and the occasional failure of this mechanism is what produces sleepwalking. And the dreams begin. This is where it gets strange. Where are you exactly when you dream? You are inside a world your brain is constructing entirely from scratch. A world built from memory and emotion and pure imagination. A world that feels absolutely real while you are inside it. Your prefrontal cortex, the rational, logical part of your brain, goes mostly quiet during REM sleep. This is why dream logic makes no sense when you wake up. Why you can be in your childhood home that is also somehow a spaceship. Why people who have been dead for years can walk through your dreams and you feel no contradiction. The part of you that would notice the absurdity is switched off. You are handed a vivid, immersive experience and you simply accept it. But why? Why does the brain do this at all? Matthew Walker, professor of neuroscience and psychology at the University of California, Berkeley, and author of extensive research on sleep, argues that REM sleep is essentially a form of emotional therapy. Walker describes the sleeping brain as a kind of overnight counselor. During REM sleep, the brain replays emotional memories, but it does so in a neurochemical environment stripped of the stress chemical noradrenaline. What this means is that the brain can revisit painful, frightening, or difficult experiences without the physiological spike of distress they produced when they first first occurred. Each time a memory is replayed in this low-stress state, its emotional charge is slightly reduced. You wake up and the thing that hurt you yesterday hurts a little less. Not because you have forgotten it, because your brain spent the night diffusing it. This is why sleep deprivation so dramatically worsens mental health. It is not simply that you are tired, it is that without REM sleep, the brain never gets to process its emotional backlog. The distress accumulates, the memories stay raw and sharp and full of charge. Anxiety deepens. Emotional regulation collapses. Walker's research found that people who are sleep deprived show a 60% increase in emotional reactivity in the amygdala, the brain's threat detection center. The world begins to feel more dangerous, more overwhelming, more hostile, not because anything has changed out there, but because your brain has lost its ability to regulate how it responds. Now, here is something almost nobody thinks about. This cycle does not happen just once per night. It repeats. Roughly every 90 minutes, your brain completes a full sleep cycle and begins again. You cycle through stage 1, stage 2, slow wave sleep, and REM sleep approximately 4 to 6 times before morning. But the cycle is not identical each time. In the early part of the night, your cycles are dominated by deep, slow wave sleep, the physical repair stage. As the night goes on, that balance shifts. Each successive cycle contains more and more REM sleep. By your final cycle before waking, you may spend up to an hour inside REM, dreaming, processing, filing, healing. This is why the last 2 hours of your sleep matter so much. If you set an alarm that cuts your night short, you are not losing the least important part. You are losing the part that is the most emotionally and cognitively rich. You are cutting off the final, deepest rounds of memory consolidation and emotional therapy right before they finish. Your ancestors did not sleep the way you do. This is something researchers have been quietly discovering over the past decade. Jerome Siegel, a professor at UCLA who has studied the sleep patterns of modern hunter-gatherer societies in Tanzania, Namibia, and Bolivia, found something that contradicted almost everything we assumed about ancestral sleep. These societies, living without electric light, without screens, without alarm clocks, did not sleep 8 hours straight. Their sleep was shorter on average than modern recommendations, typically around 6 to 7 hours. They often napped, and almost none of them reported insomnia. What Siegel found was that they went to sleep not at sunset, but hours after sunset, once the air had cooled and they woke naturally before sunrise. Temperature, not light, was the primary trigger. Your body is still listening for that same signal. The drop in room temperature that comes in the middle of the night is not a coincidence. It is your ancient environment speaking to your biology, telling it to sink deeper. There is something else happening in the deepest parts of your sleep that was only discovered relatively recently. Something that might be the most important thing your brain does all night. In 2013, a researcher named Maiken Nedergaard at the University of Rochester made a discovery that stunned the neuroscience community. She found that the brain has its own waste clearing system, a network called the glymphatic system. During sleep, and almost exclusively during sleep, this system activates. The brain cells shrink by up to 60%, opening channels between them. Cerebrospinal fluid begins flowing through these channels at a dramatically increased rate, flushing out metabolic waste that accumulates during the day. Among the waste products being cleared is a protein called beta amyloid. Beta amyloid is the same protein that clumps into the plaques found in the brains of people with Alzheimer's disease. Think about what that means. Every night you sleep, your brain runs its own internal cleaning cycle. Every night you skip or cut short that sleep, the waste accumulates. The plaques build. This is not a metaphor. This is a physical, measurable, biological process, and it only happens when you are unconscious. You cannot clean your own brain. You can only make space for it to clean itself. What does all of this mean for the you that wakes up every morning? It means that the person who opens their eyes and reaches for their phone is not the same person who laid down the night before. The version of you that exists right now has been rebuilt overnight. Your memories have been reorganized, your emotional experiences have been processed and partially diffused. The skills you practiced are more solidly encoded. Your immune system is stronger, your brain is cleaner, you have, in the most literal biological sense, been restored. Ancient traditions around the world understood that sleep was a crossing, a passage into another realm. They did not have the neuroscience to explain it, but they were not wrong about the basic truth of it. Something happens when you cross into sleep. Something changes. And the person who comes back is not identical to the one who left. Every night your brain solves problems you could not consciously solve while awake. It processes grief, it rehearses fear, it files the day, it erases what is not needed and strengthens what is. It heals muscle, it primes immune response, it clears the waste of thinking, it writes the story of who you are, one night at a time, by deciding what to keep and what to let go. You lie down, you close your eyes, you think you are resting, but your brain is doing everything. Tonight, when the lights go off and you close your eyes, you will vanish again. And the place you are going, the layered, looping, dreaming, repairing, cleaning, remembering place your mind travels to every night is not empty at all. It is the most alive you ever are without knowing it.